Good Monday morning, guys, and thanks for logging on here to BAMWX.com for your latest long-range forecast update. Michael Clark here with BAM Weather. Want to get right into the latest here this morning. Want to take a look at the, the observed rainfall analysis here over the course of the last 7 days. Last week we talked a lot about the potential for flooding and significant rain, and we've seen just that here across the Ohio Valley, down into Missouri, the Arklatex regions here, just a widespread, rain here of well over 2 inches. And unfortunately looking to do it again, looking to do more heavy rain here again later this week. Maybe not to this magnitude, but nonetheless another big system and a lot of rainfall in the forecast here as we continue to go forward. In terms of the percentages from the normal, a lot of folks ended up north of 300% of the normal for a 7-day stretch. Most of the eastern growing regions, the eastern ag belt, if you will, is considerably wetter than normal right now. And just looking forward, looking ahead, I just do not see a change in this forecast. And this morning kind of had us looking at some of these really wet growing season outlooks or years like 19, 08, 06, 17, those years where there was a lot of rain for quite a while. And so I'm becoming increasingly concerned for significant delays in the planting process here, especially for the eastern half of the ag belt. Temperatures here over the last 25 days continue to run that slightly warmer east, much colder west, and into the northern plains. It hints the reason for the setup where there's storm systems and ample amount of precipitation that continues to occur. Our 3 to 7 day impactful weather outlook is going to include a chance of accumulating snow once again across the northern plains into Minneapolis, into the lower portions of Canada there over the Great Lakes. And then another chance of heavy rain and severe storms. Right now, that's looking to be the 30th into the 31st, with a big front that's going to sweep through. Okay, that's going to bring the rain in through this area and the wintry precip in through this area. And then following that, a big wind event. But temperatures that come back down. Another front, a shot of colder air. That front that comes in here on Friday is going to have the potential for possibly some significant severe weather. We already have a day 5, what you could call, if you wanted to, an enhanced risk for severe weather at this distance. Heavy rainfall as well. I'm worried about, Friday's chances here for a widespread event of severe weather. It's something we'll have to really kind of keep an eye on here. I'll show you the timing real quick of this. First and foremost, as we go throughout the early part of the week, it's somewhat rather quiet. Weak shot of showers and snow here, chance Wednesday night into Thursday in the Great Lakes in the north and east. The storm system starts to materialize off the lee side of the mountains here Thursday night into Friday, and really starts to organize itself Friday evening. Area of low pressure in Iowa starting to deepen, strengthen. Snow breaks out to the north, as we just mentioned, but rain all over the place really is, and strong thunderstorms being a concern here Friday night and again into Saturday. The low wraps up, gets pretty strong here just north of Rockford, Illinois, into southern Wisconsin. We see again a lot of snow wrapping in on the backside of this, a lot of wind out ahead of this. And this is where we're going to, again, be worried Friday night into Saturday at this distance for stronger thunderstorms and heavy rainfall. As that low pressure center departs, once again, colder air comes back in behind it. And another system's on its tail as early as Monday, Tuesday of next week. You take it out to day 10 of the European, and it's almost kind of adding insult to injury, as another strong low-pressure center, almost in the same fashion, would come through, possibly on the 5th or 6th of April, with another big shot of cold behind it and snow to the north. So a remarkably active pattern. So brace for severe weather Friday night, brace for snow to the north. Look at the rainfall totals. I'll show you the European first, the next 10 days. Again, Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Tennessee, the chance here for another 2+ inches of rain the next 10 days. The GFS seeing it very similar terms of the storm track, the pattern, all of it there. A very active look over the course of the next 10 days. All right, where it's drier or not as active, West Iowa, okay, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, the storm systems are will set up east of there. I don't know if for those of you that pay attention to this stuff a lot, that's been something that's been happening, more so in the last 10 years, especially this time of year, where these severe weather setups and storm systems setting up east of really where they traditionally had in the Central Plains for this time of year. All right, so let's take a look here at week 1 temperatures behind the front Friday. Cold spills back in the North Dakota here, South Dakota, the Northern Plains just cold. 15 to 20 degrees below the average. Unfortunately, right now for these folks, no real relief in sight from the cold. For you guys up there in the Northern Plains, unfortunately, it looks to run cold. At least it'll be a little bit less active week 1 in terms of a percentage of normal precip forecast. Continue again to remain less active there in the Southern Plains as well. Good news for planting progress in the southwestern half there of the Corn Belt. But week 2, I mean, look at this. This is, the cold just hanging on, and the warmth in the south and east kind of nudging up here a little bit. Some indications that our tropical forcing may encourage or promote yet more heavy rainfall risks in the eastern Corn Belt and the deep south here in the next couple of weeks. And so I'm a little concerned here, again, for planting progress, for the ability for us to get out into the field early. I think what could happen, we were kind of talking about this earlier, was, we may see a warm-up and a pullback from rain that may cause somewhat of a head fake. It may make us think that we're going to calm down and we're going to warm up, just to have yet another very strong cold front, possibly here in April, a couple of them even, that offer up frost and freeze. And so April right now, what I'm saying is I would not be in a hurry. I would not be jumping the gun to get out there and get your crop in the ground right now. I wouldn't. I would just try to be patient, as difficult as that might be. That's my recommendation. The week 2 outlook is soaked. 250% of the normal precip in some of these spots here in the eastern Corn Belt for week 2. That first week of April looks very active and wet. All right, cold and wet. I mentioned the tropical forcing. It's crucial we follow kind of its progress here of what that's doing. And what's happening here is that, as I mentioned actually a week ago today, all of the models, all right, are going here into the circle. Some of them are trying to hit a brief stint of 5 and 6 now, especially the GFS extended here. All right, that 5-6 indication would be this warm up we're talking about, where folks might be like, oh, it's going to get warm, it might be starting to get nice, and we want to caution you to don't buy what that's selling right now, because it will be warm here for a time in the east and the southeast, but not long. It's also going to be wet. All right, as we drift into phase 7 here into April, right around probably the 10th or so, give or take a few days. But look what phase 7 features here: a big dump of cold. It's drier, but another big dump of cold, a big cold front coming in, again, that worries me for frost and freeze concerns. And if we migrate into 8, like these subseasonal models are at least hinting at, the cool weather stays around. At least it's slightly cooler than average, but look at this, it stays very wet. Okay, so it's concerning, again, for the general outlook here, the tropical forcing favoring a challenging time here in the weather department for growers and farmers here across the country. The CFS Weekly shows this well. Here's your wet week 3 and the warmth across the south. The cold wanting to spill in by week 4 has a major cold shot here the 17th to the 23rd of April. It gets drier for that time, but again, it's very cold. And when we look at this from a preset from normal standpoint, the next 45 days, this takes us out through May 7th. This is the European. Listen, if you're in this area here, I really think you're going to have a very, very difficult time getting anything going even by May 1st. I think you're going to be looking much more into mid to late May right now for the potential to be planting here. In fact, I think it's just it's something we should probably put on the record. You know, mid to late May for this area for planting progress, because you know, with as wet as it's been and as cold as it's going to be, and it has been, the chance for any type of you know, evaporation to take place, the chance for any significant stretch of dry weather, it's just really slim. So let's plan for this right now. I encourage you to be patient, reach out to us, hit that chat button if you've got questions about, you know, your forecast, but it's a wet one here over the next several weeks. You guys have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.